Right, amazing people. What we're going to do now is we're going to consider different types of polygons. Now, when we have polygons that have the sides which might not be equal, some might be extra long, some are shorter, some are super, super long, as we come around here. So we can see from this shape here that we've got four sides to it. This would be a quadrilateral, but in this case here, this would be an example of what's called an irregular polygon. Now, an irregular polygon, what it has is it has the sides not being equal and the angles not being equal. Now, the example of a polygon, which is the alternative, which is a regular polygon, an example of this is something like a square, where, as a result of this, it has four sides which are equal and four angles which are equal as well. So we could indicate this by putting these markers on each of the sides and also incorporating right angle marks, because squares have right angles, into it here. And so this is an example of a regular polygon in this case. Now, one other thing to consider here is the angle sum of the angles inside a polygon. Now, when we are finding the angle sum, what this is referring to, it's referring to each of the angles inside. So in the case of a four-sided shape, that's the four angles inside. In the case of a seven-sided shape, that's the seven angles that we have inside. And so the way or the rule that we can go about finding the angle sum of all of those things, we use the letter S to represent the sum of them all, and it's a capital. What we say is that this is equal to n minus 2, and this is multiplied by 180. N in this case is, well, actually, S is the sum of the angles. We have n as well then, and n, this is representing the number of sides in that shape. Okay, so as we begin to think about this, if we've got, for instance, a triangle, okay, a triangle has three sides. So as we consider this here, what we're going to do is we're going to have S is equal to 3 minus 2, we'll put that in brackets, times 180. And when we work this out, well, 3 minus 2 is 1 times 180. That gives us an answer of 180 degrees. And that's the angle sum of a triangle. We think about then a square, which has four sides. What we're going to do is follow the same process here. So we're going to have S is equal to, but in this case, we're going to have 4 minus 2 because it's got four sides. And we times this by 180. And this then is going to be equal to 362 degrees. 4 minus 2 is 2, so the 2 times 180 gives us that answer of 360 degrees for a four-sided shape. So now, if we keep going and we consider some other shapes, let's consider an octagon. So an octagon is generally considered to be like a stop sign. It would be considered an octagon. When we consider it, it has 8 sides. So if we were to find the angle sum of all the angles inside the octagon, that would be S is equal to 8 minus 2, and we need to multiply that by 180. When we work this out by multiplying together, that 8 minus 2 ends up 6, so 6 times 180, and that's going to give us a total angle sum of 1080 degrees. Okay, so this is how we're going about finding the total number of angles inside each of these polygons. Now, if we go a step further than this and we consider just regular polygons, remember regular polygons have all the same sides and all the same angles, so they're all equal. In this case here, what we can do, if we need to find one of those angles, the way we can go about this is we can take these sums here, and then we can divide it by the number of sides. So to know the size of a single angle in a regular polygon, it would be equal to, similar formula, it's going to be S equals n minus 2 times 180, but we're also going to divide it by n at the end. And that's going to help us get that single angle here. So in the case of these ones we've just done, it's just a matter of taking the answer we've got for each of them and being able to divide it by n to find it out. So in the case of a triangle, it would be 60 degrees. In the case of a square, that's going to be 90 degrees. And now in the case of our octagon, that's then going to be 135 degrees. Okay, so this is how you find a single angle in each of these shapes.